Hi, hello everyone. Dawn Epting here. Thank you so much, as always, for watching this video. I'm really excited about today's topic, which is false guilt. Beware of false guilt. Feel free to hit that subscribe button underneath the video and the bell to receive notifications for future videos. So hopefully at the end of this video, you won't feel guilty about maybe boundaries that you've put in place, decisions that you've made. I know that in my own life and in the life of many of people that I associate with that have done great things in their respective fields, when they let go of guilt and, remained firm in their boundaries, our lives took off. So the scripture that I wanted to start off with today was Romans 10:11, and it says, anyone who believes in him will never be put to shame. Anyone who believes in him will never be put to shame. So shame is not a part of your identity. You're an eternal spiritual being with unlimited value and worth. You're connected to the infinite power of the universe, which is God. And shame and guilt should never be a part of your identity. Of course, guilt is often a feeling for something that you may feel that you've done wrong, or you've been told that you've done wrong. And shame is just a feeling of feeling bad about who you are. So guilt can easily turn into shame if we are not careful. And of course, that is a weight that weighs you down, because we get into things like self-condemnation. It zaps your energy, your zeal for life, your strength. And we do not want to take guilt of any kind, because that is not our identity. While there are things that we may want to do different going forward, we're never to allow people to place guilt on us, or, get into self-condemnation ourselves. The basis of our life, the basis of your life is freedom. You were created to be free, to love, to experience joy and the abundant life. So I wrote here, a condemned heart will not produce. You cannot produce out of a condemned heart. With the suicide prevention line, Christian suicide prevention, that I started a number of years ago, often people who call feel, hopeless because they feel guilty. They feel like they've made decisions that were wrong, and, they've made too many mistakes. And we have to know that God knew every decision that we would ever make long before we came forth and long before the world was created. And the basis of our identity is his identity. He sees us as him, innocent, blameless, pure, faultless, without any guilt. And we have to see ourselves that way, regardless of what other people tell us or what our circumstances may tell us. We have to see ourselves that way. So I wrote here the scripture, Proverbs 4:23. Many of you probably are familiar with it. Guard your heart with all diligence. From out of it flows, or out of it are the issues of life. We have to guard our hearts and beware of when that guilt tries to creep in, or that condemnation tries to creep in, or when other people try to place that on us. So I wrote a few reasons here that we get into that false guilt. And one is, one of the big things is, trying to keep laws, religious obligations, religious systems, religious duties. That is one of the reasons that we get into false guilt. We feel like we're never doing enough. We can never perform enough. So we have to be aware of that. Number two, I wrote other people's expectations. Sometimes we don't live up to what people expect of us. And, people, especially those that are close to us, whether they're family members or friends and they know us well, they have a way of making us feel guilty, or we allow them to make us feel guilty, because it's always our choice. So as long as you're doing what is in your heart, that the basis of who you are is a good person, don't allow other people's expectations to make you feel guilty. Number 3 I wrote is subconscious conditioning. So that goes kind of along with number 2, other people's expectations. Sometimes we've felt guilty so long and we've assumed guilt because of what other people have said about us and told us that we're failing to do, that it becomes a subconscious program internally, and we always feel guilty. We cannot do one thing and it's just the program in our subconscious running. So we have to reprogram ourselves. We have to renew our minds. We have to reprogram our subconscious to know that we are righteous, we are blameless, we are accepted, we are enough, through positive affirmations, through saying those statements until that gets more into our subconscious, and through meditation, late at night, early in the morning, late at night, right before you go to sleep, early in the morning, right as you're waking up. Those things go into our subconscious program as well. Meditating on the truths of who you really are. And finally, a reason why we may assume that false guilt is because of decisions that we've made. We may not be accepted into the group because we've created firm boundaries and did what was best for us. And sometimes when you do what is best for you, people will try to make you feel guilty. But I just wanted to come really briefly and just say that you are never guilty. You are never condemned. You're always pure. You're always, because of who you were eternally created to be. And like I said, it's just really important to know that, so that you don't have that weight of guilt on you, and that you can flow with life. You can do the things that you've been called to do without the heavy burden and the weight and the lack of energy because of false guilt that you have taken upon yourself. So thank you so much. Thank you guys. As always, I appreciate your comments and your insight as always under these videos. And thank you for sharing these videos. And look below to see some of the things that we're doing now. Thank you guys as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.